intro roulette. When I think there's going to be an intro, there isn't, and when think there's no intro to be had, it comes up and surprises me. Welcome back to the Villa View. It's time for a post-match pint in association with Purity. Around 24 hours ago, plucky Aston Villa side were trudging off the Villa Park pitch Dolan, having fell to a 2-1 defeat against Manchester City. Not often you walk away from Villa Park feeling quite jovial after a defeat, but I got to say, I came away thinking that was a really, really good performance against arguably the best side in the league, one of the best teams in the world. And I'm really
Mm.
happy with what I've seen despite losing.
Yeah. I mean, how's your Barnet doing first and
Oh,
foremost?
disaster. It's not good. It's
Yeah.
not good at the moment. It's
No.
getting cut on Monday. You'll be pleased to hear.
Yes. What's the plan?
Something. I don't know yet. I'm not sure exactly what. Well, I mean, we're not here to talk about my hair, though. We used to be here to talk about your hair.
Exactly, mate.
We're here to talk about Aston Villa.
You know what it feels like. Yeah. I mean, the fact we didn't touch the ball for the first 15 minutes. We could have crumbled. We just ran around like like
headless chickens.
Headless chickens, yeah, exactly. I was thinking of something clever to say than that, but yeah, headless chickens. And once I think Gerard was right, we just showed them far too much respect, which is unusual because you would always imagine teams under Steven Gerrard and players like Gerrard to really give to really G them up before they sort of step onto the pitch, and you expect fast starts under Gerrard, but they we just couldn't get the ball off them. And then we slowly sort of got ourselves into the game. You got to look at their two goals, and they're very avoidable. They're very, very avoidable. And apart from their two goals, I don't remember Martinez having to make a save.
Not really in the second half. In the first half, he made a couple, but certainly not in the second half. He wasn't busy at all.
I mean, it weren't much. It wasn't a game full of chances. Obviously, we had the much better chances in the second half, but I don't remember either keeper really making great saves. It was a game played very much, in the middle of the park, and you look at again, we were in a great position before they scored their second, and that break was just out of this world, and you sort of just have to sit there and go, well, you know what, like, fair play. I mean, Mings obviously was probably caught a little bit on his back foot, and he was caught ball watching. Kind of reminded me of the Danny Welbeck goal for Brighton.
Not quite as bad as that.
No, but in terms of just,
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Just sort of, Mings has been for me our best player in the last three games. He's been outstanding compared to where he was for the first sort of 6 or 7 games under Smith this season. He's been brilliant, and we look a better side with him in. There's no doubt, but he, the thing about Mings is he's just always vulnerable to making a mistake, and fortunately for him, a lot of the mistakes he makes, they get punished.
But that was just precision from Manchester City. Though everything they did was absolutely bang on, from Mahrez's skill in his own in his own penalty area, Fernandinho's pass, Jesus, who I actually thought, I watched him last night. He's a much better footballer than I thought he was. His pass to Bernardo Silva's bang on, and the finish is outrageous.
Yeah,
when the whole end's clapping.
Yeah.
It's a good finish because
it was outstanding. It was an outstanding finish, and they go 2 up, and it's, you sort of think, here we go. This could be 4s and 5s, but it's really interesting. It's like, bizarrely, I was like, as a Villa fan, just try and win the second half, just try and win it. We did, and then again, whenever they had the set piece, and the commentator said that City haven't conceded a goal all season from the set piece.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and again, in Gerard's 3 games, he's kind of quashed stats. Brighton's away form, Palace's home form, and then obviously being the first team to score a set piece goal against City. So it was a great start. And we just played so well in that second half. We just played so well in that second half, and there's been some footage flying around Twitter today, just little montage of our passages of plays, and you just see the way that he wants to play. It's very one touch. It's get the ball, pass and move, pass and move, pass and move. Lots of little neat little intricate triangles. He talks about spaces a lot. The space between each player, and everybody seems to know exactly where they should be. And I thought Campbell was excellent again last night. I thought Cash was really good. I thought we were really good. But I have to say again, I thought when Ashley Young came on, I think the game changed when Ashley Young came on.
Yeah, Bailey had a bit of an iffy time in the first half. A couple of bad decisions where he should have passed it or he held onto the ball for too long. Ashley Young's kind of got that know-how where, I mean, he probably can't dribble at the pace that Bailey can nowadays, but he's got the know-how and he knows when to release the ball. He doesn't really make mistakes.
Young's not gonna not release that and then do a little flick and then just run into three players. Young lays that ball off to, I think it was Watkins or Buendia. But the thing about that is that doesn't particularly bother me because Gerard's not gonna tolerate that. Like, that will not happen again. Like that, he will not tolerate that kind of play.
It won't be happening for a month or so anyway.
Well, there is that obviously because he's injured again, but just something about Bailey just hasn't. Obviously the Everton cameo was like, wow, like this is frightening. This guy could be the next big thing, and he's clearly just not been fit at all season. And he obviously he's tracking back, and you could see it straight away. He just pulls up, and when players pull up like that with that kind of muscle injury, then as we heard, it's probably going to be 4 or 5 games, and then it's getting back into match fitness again. And then are we really going to see the best of him until the new year or even the all this season? Because there's something not quite right there. And like I say, when he went off, and I thought when Ashley Young came on, I thought Young changed the game. He just made all the right decisions, and we were dangerous when he got the ball, and he always seems to pick the right pass.
I mean, he changed the team again, didn't he? So that's 3 games in a row where he has made changes of the teams. But I think there's been a different front 3 every single game so far. So Buendia came in for Young this time. He's made changes. He freshened up the midfield as well. Louise came in for Ramsey. I thought Louise was unbelievable. Yeah. I thought he had such a good game. I've never been massively keen on him playing further forward, but in the way Gerard wants to play, I actually think playing to that left really, really suited him. He was good going forward. He was energetic. He got around the pitch. And just the nature of his passing, he's a player that's got to be in the team, Douglas Luiz, because he played really, really well last night.
Yeah, he was. Again, and I forgot to mention him just previous there, and when it was name checking a few, but yeah, he was outstanding. Outstanding, 50 touches. Yeah, amazing.
How did Adam know I was going to talk about Douglas Luiz? It was all like he had no idea I was going to say it. I've spoken to Douglas Luiz, and the next thing I know, the stats are on the screen. Absolutely incredible, saying great producing, 10 out of 10.
He's at the wheel, mate. Get 10. The contract out, Adam. Whatever you want it, just
write it down,
mate. Sign it up, mate. Adam's at the wheel.
It's all right.
The Villaview's back. But yeah,
there'll be an intro chucked in a minute or something stupid. Every time he does something good, something bad instantly follows.
Yeah. No, he was, and again, Sanson came on, and Gerard clearly.
Yeah, he looked good as well.
Sanson, he came on. He looked really good. Carney came on. I think that was a bit of a message. I think he threw him on as a bit of either a message to the club to say, I want to keep him, or a message to the player himself to say, well, I'm this, we believe in you. I'm bringing you on here against Man City, trying to win the game with half an hour to go. This is how much I rate you. This is how much I want you to stay.
Well, Greg says he wants to look at every single player. That was part of the reason why Chukwuemeka came on. So Gerard wants to look at every player before January. So this was his chance to shine. He could have scored though, and that would have been the third game in a row where a sub would have made a huge impact. And that's quite telling.
Just talking about that ball from Buendia.
Yeah, lovely.
Was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And if he carries on like that, he'll manage to get the Carlos Hill tag off his back. But Buendia with another game where it's like, okay, I can see what is it, Chris Reeve, whenever you did the preview with him, but I could see what he was kind of so excited about, or so upset about, I should say. Because over the last, I think since Southampton, really, I think since that second half against Southampton, Buendia has been very, very, very good. And that ball through to Carney. I mean, there's that thought of, can he hit it first time? I don't think he had much of an angle when he
I thought he
had
could have shot first time, but I could be
I don't
wrong.
know. I mean, it's in hindsight, but I don't think he had much of an angle. I think he had to sort of take that touch, but it wasn't a great finish. But I mean,
Any power it goes in.
yeah, he just didn't quite catch it, and it was a great save. And yeah, just on the penalty, really. Actually, what was the kind of feeling on that? Because I'm quite 50-50 on that.
I watched it back today. I've got to say, it looks like a penalty to me.
Mm.
VAR have looked at it. I don't even know if VAR did look at it, to be honest, because it wasn't clear on the match of the day. Highlights that I saw, and
Kevin Frame, wasn't it?
I mean, VAR at the ground, they tell you a decision's not been made, like a decision's been made whilst the game's playing. When you all know that the decision hasn't been made, they tell you about 10 minutes after. So I've got no idea whether VAR even looked at that or not. But I don't think Man City could have had too many complaints if it had been given, and that would have been a pathway back into the game as well.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, you've seen them given. I think was it George said that if that happened anywhere else in the pitch, it's a free kick. So what's the difference? Again tonight, the Fred, the Fred incident with De Gea. I think the ref was ready to blow up for that and give De Gea the free kick, but sort of that was VAR really. Kind of that's why it's there. But I don't know how close it was like that. I thought, looking back at the replay, I thought, okay, they're going to give this a serious. They have to give it a serious look.
I've seen softer pens given.
Yeah, I mean, sure. God, you look at some of the decisions that went against us last season. Yeah, it was frustrating because I think if we'd have got a second and leveled it, then we could have gone on and won the game easily. But
do you not think that? I think if we'd have scored, if we'd have got back, I think Man City might have gone up a gear. I felt like they were quite happy to sit in and try and keep what they got. They went 2-0 up. I felt like they were quite happy with that. I'm not saying we didn't play well, because we did, but I do think if we'd have got to 2-2, I think they'd have turned it on again.
Yeah, I mean, they're that good. They're that good that they can flick a switch. And obviously, the fact we scored so early in the second half didn't really give them much time to find their rhythm. Because if they found their rhythm like they did in the first 15, in the second 15, then it could be 4 or 5 by 75 minutes. But we struck so early that, yeah, I'm sure you're right. We kind of forced them to change it. But again, I think we have to give our players credit. I think
we ran their socks off.
We ran our socks off, and it'd be interesting to see the distance covered in the last 3 games compared to the previous 3 games before that. So, yeah, I'm just liking what I'm hearing, and I love the post-match. I love that post-match interview. I love that pre-match interview on Amazon when he's talking about. I think you retweeted it and said, "I'm with you." When he talked about if you haven't got that mentality and you haven't got that sort of hunger to win, then you're playing. You're at the wrong club and you're playing for the wrong badge. And listen, it's all about, it's that kind of gang mentality, and it's kind of us versus them. But that's what we need. That's what the club needs, and certainly felt. You kind of feel a lot more safe when you've got, I don't know, I suppose it's kind of the aura around Gerrard and the aura around his presence and what he did in the game, because we don't know what he can do as a top flight manager, but just it's kind of having him on your team just feels like you can beat anybody. You just having him there just feels like you can go and beat anyone that you face, if that makes sense.
Well, he's an impressive guy. He's got, I think what he'll have learned from the first 3 games is actually, despite what we were thinking with 5 defeats in a row, there's actually a lot to work with.
Yeah.
In this squad, we weren't seeing the best of them, but he's a guy that naturally players want to impress. He carries weight. They want to do well for him. He just I don't think, really, obviously, yeah, we could have hoped for 3 wins in a row, but, could he have had a better start, really, from those first 3 games? Really. You win the first 2, and then you go toe-to-toe with Man City and come out by the odd goal and give them a real fright and nearly take a point. I actually don't think we could have wished for a better start under him. It's pretty much been bang on.
Yeah, it has, and we're still missing players. We're still missing Traore. We're still missing
Ings.
Bailey's not fully fit. So we're still not at full strength, and I still think the players have another gear to go up.
Yeah, they will.
I think fitness wise, I love what he's saying about the intensity in training and the fact that the players are picking up little niggles here and there, because he's really seems to be, working them to the absolute maximum, which is, again, few things I've heard around the club. Again, nothing against Smith, because the guy's a hero. I love the man, but it's just things were just becoming far too comfortable for the players, and we all know what happens at Villa when players get comfortable. We tend to get relegated, and I think it was probably just the right time to make the change. But Sunday's big. Sunday's massive, and I think Leicester. I think they're very, very beatable. They're very beatable.
Oh, they're vulnerable at the back. They ship all kinds of goals.
They're not quite the Leicester of the last few seasons. And as you say, if we can get them on our day and things can click, I think we can get 3 points on Sunday as well. And I said the next 5 or 6 are very, very tough, but I think if we can beat Leicester on Sunday, then wow, what a start! What a start that would be.
The interesting thing I've found is that the central midfield has been the problem area. I think we can all agree that we didn't feel up to scratch the whole season, really, bar the odd fleeting moment. Now it feels like there's suddenly a lot of competition in there. They're all playing on top of their game. Louise comes in, has a really good game. Ramsey now, how's he going to get back in, because those three did really well. Sanson comes on for 10, 15 minutes and looked a really good player. Good, he hasn't played much football at all. He's come on against Man City as well and looked fresh and looked excited and done some good things on the ball. So suddenly, that area looks pretty good. And I think there will be rotation in the next few weeks. I think you probably will see Sanson start a game. I wouldn't surprise me if El Ghazi just came in from nowhere and started on Sunday as well. He was perhaps unlucky not to come on instead of Chukwuemeka, because he's made good impact from the bench in the 2 games previous. Suddenly it does feel, you're saying we're not full strength, but it does feel like there's options everywhere, really, except for striker, because obviously there's only Watkins at the moment.
Well, you got Keenan Davis on the bench.
Keenan Davis is forever going to be on the Aston Villa substitutes. He is. 5-6 years now he's been there, hasn't he?
Yeah. I think Greg said that that Gerrard quite liked him at Rangers.
And to be honest, we should listen to what Greg says, because when Greg said Ashley Young was going to play as attacking midfield, I completely laughed at him. Yeah, he's completely spot on.
No, Greg, he's not a man of many words, but when he chooses to speak, he tends to get it right.
That's not what all the forums say.
No, okay. No,
he does. He knows his stuff 100%. I know who he speaks to, so I know he knows his stuff.
He does. He speaks to me, so that's why.
He's finding that information from you. Unbelievable.
But no, listen, you're right. You're absolutely right. I just think where we're vulnerable is at fullback, and
only injury wise, because obviously Target's gone off, hasn't he? So Young had to move from number 10 to number 3. If Cash was to get injured, then who would play right back? Probably to Nzabi, and I'm not sure about that. Yeah, we're a bit light at full back and over the busy period if we were to get a knock.
I'd even bring back Kessler. He's at Swindon, isn't
he? Yeah. I don't know what they do, because it does. I don't know. There isn't really anyone else to play there at the moment other than Nzabi. I can't think of anyone else.
He's been playing right back for Rangers. Is it
Tavernier? Yeah, I don't think we'll be going to get him.
Tavernier. I still think I'm not. For me, Cash is all right back, and Cash can be up there with some. He can be one of the best right backs that we've had. I think
there's not been loads in my time good right backs.
No, there hasn't. But I think probably Mark Delaney was the last great right back.
Alan Hutton.
Cash for me is our right back. He's if you bring somebody in, it's only as cover. But I do think Target was excellent last season, and he's shown glimpses obviously since Gerrard's come in.
He's been good under Gerrard. He's been very good. Very good, very solid.
I just think he's still quite lightweight for left back. He just seems a little bit. He just seems a little bit fragile for me at left back.
His biggest issue is pace. I think I would say that's his biggest problem.
Yeah,
I think Gerrard will want someone quick.
I agree. And you look at some of the left backs that are around the league and around Europe. I just think if we were that in Splash 35 million on a left back. I could see that. I could see that happening.
35 million, did you say?
35 million. That's
On a
the
left
going
back?
rate. That's the going. Well, target was 18.
I don't think
So
we'll be chucking 35 million on a left back. I don't say that.
well,
Unless you know something I don't. I don't think we'll be spending 35 million on a left back. It's a lot. It's a hell of a lot of money. How much money have we got?
I just plucked it. I just plucked it out of there. I mean, like 35 million. I'm not. It was just a round.
You're talking like that's no money at all. It's a ton of money.
Well, yeah. I mean, $1 million quid's a lot of money, but
Yes.
I wouldn't be paying $1 million for a left back, would you?
Well, it depends who it was.
Well, exactly. But yeah, I think you'll want to address left back, and I think you'll want to. I do think you'll bring in Kamara, and I do think you'll bring in Kent. I just think you will.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think you will. No,
I think he likes them as players, but are they any better than what we've already got? Glenn Kamara, I can see him. I'm not sure Kent's any better than what we have in those positions.
Kent is, but there's something about him. I would be surprised if he brings in Defoe as an attacking specialist.
Calm down now. He's not going to take Defoe.
Although Defoe did leave his Defoe left Rangers. He left his position at Rangers.
Has he left?
Apparently he has, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't think he's going to be coming to Villa Park anytime soon.
No, but
probably still a good finisher.
Yeah, but as you said, there's so much to work with, and I think probably George being pleasantly surprised, to walk into a club.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
You look at someone like Eddie Howe walking into Newcastle.
Oh, tearing his hair out.
Date they're in, although they're the so-called richest club in the world, walking into Newcastle compared to walking into Aston Villa. Gerrard clearly knew Newcastle was a mess, because there's no doubt Newcastle probably would have tried to tap him up, but he wasn't interested. And you walk into that Villa job, and previously when new managers have come into Villa, and again this is just credit to Dean Smith, and when anyone's walked into Villa, it's always been a mess. It's been a shambles. You look at, like, even just to go back as far as McLeish. Obviously Heritage, Houllier had done a great job. We finished. It was our last. We finished ninth under Houllier. But you look at McLeish and what happened there, and then Lambert, and then the mess that he left, and Sherwood, and the mess that he left, and then Remy Gard, and the mess that he left, and then Di Matteo, and the mess that he left, and it's just endless
crap.
Just complete shite. And whereas George walked into a club with, as we spoke before, one of the best youth academies, I think, anywhere in the country. And I mean, like, anywhere in Europe. And, a young squad, a squad that obviously is not quite fit enough, but a really young squad, one of the youngest squads in the league. Owners that have very, very, very deep pockets, and the CEO that believes in him. And you've got 42,000 Villa fans who absolutely adore him. So
already, and that's a key thing as well. 42,000 people.
Yeah,
Villa don't get applauded off too often when they lose in general, but then they got applauded off last night because they realised, even the first half actually, they still got applauded off. They can visibly, tangibly see what he's trying to do and what he is doing. As I love Dean Smith too, but you can see things have changed. There was things wrong under Smith. I loved him. I always will love him, but there was things wrong. He's rectified those things. I mean, to be fair, in a month's time, we could be saying, "Oh God, we've lost 3 in a row. It's an absolute disaster."
Yeah, and that can happen at this level. You can go 3 or 4 on the bounce,
But he knows what he wants, and he'll demand what he wants. And if you don't give him what he wants, he won't play.
No, exactly, and you can see, I think I'd said in the pre-match, for me it was a toss-up between Buendia and Young, because of Young's age. But if a player plays well and he stays in the team, and I think Buendia, well, depending on target, I think Buendia will probably start again in that front 3, and Young might drop the left back, or if target's fit, then Young will be in the bench. So
I think Young will play either way. Possibly. Although, as I say, it wouldn't surprise me to see Algaza. I think Buendia will play too. I think Buendia, you can now say, like you said, I can see what he is now. I couldn't really work out what he was under Dean Smith, and I was thinking, I'm not sure about him. A bit lightweight, doesn't really suit anything that we're trying to do. he suits what Gerrard's trying to do. I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he's putting anywhere near the level of performance he's capable of. But I can see what he is now, and that's an improvement as well.
Yeah, totally. And there's been players that we were slating before Gerrard came in, and even Mings was having a stinker, to the point where he got dropped. And I think we all knew once Dean Smith had dropped Mings, we all knew that was kind of the end.
I started to think he was in trouble at that point.
Yeah, because you start making decisions for the sake of making decisions to prove points. I mean, you're trying to prove a point with no real substance, then it starts to get a little bit hard to watch. And I think the league now is wide open. I mean, you look at what's going on at Everton, and you look where we want to get to, and the clubs we want to emulate. We want to be emulating the likes of Leicester and Tottenham, Everton.
7th, 8th, 9th is there for us this season. Still,
sorry,
7th, 8th, 9th is there for the taking. I would say.
Yeah,
I'm not saying we're going to do it, but I'm saying it's, there's no clear team there. I would say they're going to finish 7th.
It's easier said than done. I mean,
no, I get that, but the stuff that I can't even read that. I don't know what's going on with my eyes. What points are we on? 16 is that?
16. So yeah, Brighton got a point last night. So yeah, you look at Brighton. You look here at Wolves sitting there in 8th. Tottenham, Arsenal.
Maybe the top 7. Maybe that you're going to struggle to get into that. But after that, you'd expect to be in and around Wolves, Brighton.
But without sounding too casual, West Ham kind of broke into that top 7 very easily. Like they kind of went from relegation fodder with a manager that nobody wanted and an ownership that nobody wanted and a squad that nobody wanted to all of a sudden they got 1 or 2 key players in and
they just found a way of playing.
They just found a way. And getting in people like Souček and even Lingard coming in.
They'll get him again in January as well.
I think they'll get him. I honestly think we'll get Lingard.
We're not going to be signing Lingard and Kent. You said we were getting Kent a second ago. We won't get Lingard. He'll be going West Ham.
I think we get Lingard, Kent, Defoe.
And his 35 million left back.
Tavernier. I think Chris Boyd will come in as well.
There's all kinds of people. Lingard will go West Ham. He'll go West Ham. But 8th place, that would be a real improvement. That's what we should be aiming for. I'm not saying we're going to do it, but that's what we should be aiming for.
For me, I just want to stay in the league. I'm aiming for survival this year.
No, you're not.
I am.
We're not going to go down. We are not going to go down.
I'm not saying we're going to go down, but I'm not. I certainly just want to stay up. I'm not.
We all want to stay up, but I don't think that's what we should be aiming for. I don't think they're not going to be around Bodymore Heath going, let's just make sure we finish 17th, lads. That's all we do this season. They'd be looking up at 8th.
No, I just think 8th's far. We're not quite there yet. I think it's too much to ask. I still don't think the squad's. I just don't think the squad's quite right.
I'm not saying we're going to do it. I'm just saying that will be the aim, to finish somewhere around there, top half.
Well, the aim's to win every game, isn't it? And that's not going to happen. So
I know that.
Yeah, so I just think with what we have and the start we've made, I think we're probably looking at somewhere like between 11th and 14th.
Nah, I'm higher than that. We'll be looking higher than that. I'm not saying we're going to do it. We've obviously had when you lose 5 games in a row, that leaves you. That's a fair chunk of a season, isn't it? Where you've picked up 0 points, but we'll be feeling okay going into this next run of games. Leicester's very winnable on Sunday. Then is it Norwich after that?
No, I think it's.
Was it Liverpool? Is it Liverpool after that? Here we go. There he is.
Liverpool. I'm looking if we can get 9 points out of that.
It's a great return. 9 points would be.
It's a big return. I mean, you're looking at Chelsea and Liverpool as the top. I think. But
you just want to see progress again against those teams, like we saw last night. You just want to see give them a game. You might not come to the right end of it, but you want to see them try, give it a go. That's what they did.
You do. And if you're looking at top 8, if you're looking at top half, you got to be beating Leicester at home. You got to be beating Norwich, and you got to be beating Burnley. If you're looking for that top half finish, so we can't expect anything less.
I think we'll win on Sunday.
Yeah. Again, Leicester they can't turn it on when they want to, but
they can't defend.
They can't defend, and I think Europe's been a real struggle for them.
They're not particularly good in Europe either.
No, so they've kind of played. They played last Thursday. They played Sunday. They've played Wednesday, and they're playing Sunday. So 4 games in the space of 10 days. It's a lot it's a lot to ask. And you know, Gerard's been talking about, you know, some of our lads with the high intensity training picking up little niggles. You can imagine what they're picking up in game. And their squad's quite thin as it is. So
They've got injuries as well. They've had injuries all season, especially in defence.
They have, and I think with them, if you can keep Tielemans and Vardy quiet, then you've got a chance.
Madison suddenly picked up as now. I mean, we shouldn't be talking about this now because we'll have to do a match preview over the next 24 hours. But we should probably save it for then. I was going to ask about the Grealish stuff, but I'm a bit bored by it now. I don't really want to talk about it. I mean, everyone's got their opinions. If you want to boo, regardless of who.
Regardless of if it's Jack Grealish or not, like, I'm a 35-year-old man. I'm not going to boo another professional footballer.
Didn't know you were that old.
I'm not going to boo anybody. You know, it's like, when you see grown men or even anyone, like, you know, furiously giving a player like the wanker sign, you know, and calling them every name under the sun when they're taking a corner. It's like, what? Really?
Yeah. I mean, I find it quite embarrassing when kids do it, but for a fully grown man to do it.
A fully grown man in a football shop giving a 20-plus-year-old kid the wanker sign, calling him every name under the sun is hilarious, you know. So no, regardless if it's Jack or not, I wouldn't be anybody, mate. You know, I'm not. It's not really my thing. But I don't know. There's obviously there's the for and there's the against, I suppose. I think the reason we booed him is because we're all still devastated that he left, and he's the best thing to happen to our football club probably ever. And it's just sad to see him in another shirt. It's just sad to see him lining up for Man City. It's just hard. It's hard to watch.
It's more sad to see him just coming on getting 5 minutes and not really doing anything.
Well, that didn't really bother me.
No, you know what I mean, though. He's better than just being on the bench, isn't he?
Yeah. But it was just
that's the choice.
You know, it's hard, and I don't have any hatred towards any footballers. You know, I don't really care.
Jolly and Lescott?
No, not particularly. No. You know, we get on very well with Gabby Bonlahor, and he was enemy number one at Villa for a long time. Fans are very fickle, mate. You know, everyone hated Ashley Young 4 or 5 years ago, and now all of a sudden, you know, it's okay. But
not many players come back and don't get booed, in all honesty. I can't think of Milner's the only one I can think of that doesn't really get booed, but I think about the way he left, you know, it was after 2 years and he left at the first chance he got, but everyone treats him like he's a hero. Grealish was there his whole life. He's gone to a Champions League team. He's playing under Pep. He's playing with De Bruyne and players like him. He's playing with Bernardo Silva, who's absolutely incredible, by the way.
You know, and anybody, and I think people just think it's different for footballers. If you're a football fan, you just think, oh, well, he has to stay because, you know, he's Jack Grealish and Villa are his club. Well, I defy anybody to be working, because let's be honest, like, football's, it's their job. Even if he's a Villa fan, it's still a job. He still wants to look back at his career and go,
he wants to win things.
I want to win things.
He wants to play in the Champions League. That was the main driver. Not even winning things. The main driver is he wanted to play in the Champions League. Villa aren't getting in the Champions League anytime soon.
Of course. And I defy anybody in any job to, you know, let's just say you're working for EasyJet, you know, and you've been an EasyJet for your whole life, and you got that, you know, you got the orange tie, and you know, you look dead smart in your uniform, and all of a sudden, like, Virgin Atlantic just rock up.
Does anyone look good in our orange tie?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like, just go with it. Yeah, all of a sudden, Virgin Atlantic rock up and go, do you want to, like, work on our, like, first class jumbo jet and work in the first class lounge and, like, work with the best and get the best perks and get loads of money and go to loads of award shows and just be the best and take your career to another level? Do you fancy it? Nah, I can't. Nah, you know, I've got EasyJet. Like,
EasyJet till I die.
You know, EasyJet till I die. You know, I can't. You know, the cousins and stuff are big EasyJet fans, and they travel from Exeter to Hull every other weekend for work, and I just can't let them down. Oh, okay. Well, listen, there's a trip you can work for Virgin, and you can be flying to Miami and LA and Vegas every weekend. Nah. Of course you're going to take it. Of course you are. You know, like,
people are upset about the my club, my city thing, but I can tell you for almost fact, he absolutely did not want to be doing that. He did not want to be
No,
doing the kick launch last summer because he knew he was probably going. He put in a
of course,
position to do it. I don't
of
think he
course.
really wanted to. He's done it, and people will now hold that against him. But that's not his decision. That's a club decision.
You know what? I've been there myself. Like obviously,
How many
I'm
kit
not
launches
naming the
have you done?
companies. No, not kit launches
Ah,
in Monday. I've I was in a job where I was the big fish in a smaller pond, and then this massive, massive company came knocking, and we're like, "Do you want to come and work for one of the biggest companies on the planet?" Uh, yeah, I do. I do because I want to test myself with the best, working for the best in the at the highest level I possibly can. Of course I do. Do I love the old company that I was at? Yes, I adore them. Like, but you gotta move on for your career and for your future. And I think football fans can be quite short-sighted.
I do think
Uh,
him coming back last night, I think he did kind of draw a line under it. He's been back now. He clapped the
yeah,
fans. There was a better
yeah,
reception to the end than there was at the start. There was tears in his eyes. People will say it's fake. It's not. Him and his family absolutely adore this football club. I know for a
of
fact that
course
they
I do.
do.
Of course I
He
do.
could just kind of now draw a line under it. And I think I'm hoping it's not something we ever have to really speak about again because he has
Yeah,
been done to death now. And
yeah,
that kind of just drew a line under it. He's come back. He's played the game. His family were guests of the club.
yeah.
With Prince William,
Mhm.
the club hold no ill towards him whatsoever. You can see that by the social media that they put out before the game. They say he conducted himself perfectly in leaving the club. So the club hold nothing against him.
Don't
They
really
will know his
agree.
character and know what he's about.
Didn't agree with the post. Didn't think it was.
It's a bit
Didn't
much. I'm not sure whose
didn't think it
decision
was.
that was. It was a bit much, but
Didn't think it was needed. Didn't think it was needed because in fact, I probably think it probably fuels
yeah,
a
I
lot of
think that's probably
a
fair.
lot of the burn last night because if you poke somebody or if you tell somebody what to do, don't go
Yeah,
out.
fair.
Wear a mask. I'm not gonna wear a mask. No one's gonna tell me not to boo, or no one's gonna tell me not to do whatever. So I think the post probably fueled, if I'm being honest, quite a lot of the burn because it drew attention to it. I just didn't think there was a need for that because I think as a club you have to move on, and it was just a little bit amateur hour, really. It was a
We
bit
will
small
move on
angry
now.
mentality.
It has drawn a line under it. I think
But
it absolutely has.
listen, I love Jack. He's my favorite ever player to play for Aston Villa, and him and his family are great. They're great people, and um, I have no malice. I'm just gutted that he's left. I'm just gutted that he doesn't play for my football club
Yeah, of
anymore, and
course. Yeah, and
that's it.
that's a lot of it as well. A lot of it will come down to
Really,
absolute frustration that we've lost
really,
someone of that talent and that ability. Now,
completely.
kids in the crowd, they know nothing. They know nothing other than Jack Grealish being
Yeah,
a Villa.
yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't seen as many slick back haircuts at Villa Park this
yeah.
season as I've done in
And
previous years.
20,000 fans on season ticket waiting lists are all to do with kids wanting to support Villa because of Grealish, and what he brought us sort of he made us like sexy. He made us cool,
We got a manager
and
that makes us cool and sexy now, though. I would
that's it,
say.
mate. We do. So, yeah, it's kind of it's done, and it is what it is. And I don't think we played in the game until the last game of
It's
the
last day, yeah.
season. So unless we get them in the cup, then that's kind of it is what it is.
I hope we
So
don't get them in the cup.
no, I know, but I'd say that's kind of it now. But
Ian Taylor's going to
uh,
be seething, by the way, that he's not your favourite ever player.
I never actually really rated Tails as a player, to be honest.
That's unbelievable. I'm going to clip that up and send it to him in the WhatsApp group tonight. Absolutely going to clip that up and send it to him. I'm still waiting for him to meet me in the bar after the game at Crystal Palace
Oh
on
yeah,
Saturday.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll
yeah,
see. I'll see you there.
yeah,
I'll be
yeah, yeah,
there. You can get me a drink. Yeah, all right, Tails. Still waiting for him. He
yeah.
never showed. Ian Taylor, no show.
Classic,
Absolute disgrace.
classic Tails. He'll be on our WhatsApp group. Can give it an absolute big ones. So
I mean, he
yeah,
won't be watching this, so he won't even know we spoke
No, he
about
won't
him
be.
unless we
No, he
send it
won't
to
be.
him.
He
Yeah,
won't be.
maybe
But
we'll send it to him.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I think that does us, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, here just quickly.
Oh no, it doesn't do us.
I was on my lunch break today and I was walking down Bond Street and a guy was like, up the Villa. And I went, thanks, mate. And then I stopped and I was like, oh, do you watch the channel? And he said, yes. I think he's called Rob. So
You said he was
Rob,
called Rob to me when you texted me
yeah,
earlier.
Rob, yeah, Rob. So Rob, pleasure to meet you, mate. Absolutely like lovely, lovely guy. And it's always nice when somebody is a fan of the channel. So yeah.
Yeah, it's better than someone standing in the street telling you talk shit.
Exactly,
it's much better, isn't
exactly,
it? Yeah,
exactly. So yeah.
Someone stopped me the other day in the stream and was like, oh, "Your producer, absolutely awful. He never gets anything right."
No, he's been good. He's been decent tonight. To be fair,
No,
he's
no.
been decent tonight.
I'll tell you what he did do though. He ordered some clothes to my house instead of his own house that came today.
Oh really? Yeah. Oh,
yeah, sneaky little boohoo order arrived at my house. I was like, I don't know. This stuff isn't mine. Is that Adam's? So you can't get that right. Let's go. Let's call it a night. I'm very, very tired. But thank you for tuning in to this post-match pint in association with Purity, and thanks to Dolan for joining me as well. If you do want to get 10% off all Purity's goods, then if you use the code #VillaView, you can do just that. Look, Matt Muddler is that. He's got his. Nice. Did he use the code? I don't know. Who knows?
Well, my brother wanted to get some, but since Brexit, Purity don't ship to Northern Ireland. So
we'll sort that out. We'll sort that out. We'll get that sorted for him. Yeah, don't worry. We'll sort that out for him, of course. We will be doing a match preview. It'll be sometime tomorrow, I would guess. I don't think it's going to be you, is it, Dolan? I'll have to draft someone else. But yeah,
I could do it. In fact, now I'm off Saturday and we're playing Monopoly and watching Christmas films. So.
Okay.
I'm out.
We'll do it.
And then on Sunday, I'm out for lunch, and then I'm watching the game. So I'll not be able to do the post-match pint.
We won't be doing the post-match pint on Sunday because I've got to get back from the game. But yeah, we'll sort something out. Keep an eye on our social media channels, and we will tell you exactly when the next video is coming out. I mean, after this one, you may not want to ever watch us again. But yeah, we've just been chilled, relaxed, having a chat tonight. Quite buoyant considering it was a defeat. So rare to actually do a post-match point where you feel quite pleased when you've lost, because I don't think that's ever happened before. So yeah, fair play to Steven Gerrard's Villains. Back at some point in the next 24 hours. So keep your eyes peeled. Go to bed. It's 11 o'clock. Up the Villa.